Hello guys, Tempo here and welcome back to another Elemental Ranger video guide. This is going to be final, if not one of the final gasarrow guides I will be doing. Maybe I squeeze in one last video, but I am really turbo strong right now, and the only real upgrades right now are probably several mirror items. For those that didn't follow my previous guides, and for those that did, this is a crit version, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but still fairly doable with under 100 divine. If you only have like 20-50 divine, this should also work fairly well to build this character up. But of course, you get way stronger the more divines you have. It says itself for every build. So, this video is going to be a pretty in-depth one. I'll try to squeeze everything in, not miss anything, and be as helpful as I can. If now you liked the video and it was helpful for you, and you like the idea of my build, like what you're seeing, then please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. It helps me a lot. Also, you can come say hello when I'm online every day on Twitch. It's linked down below. Also join my Discord, my stream Discord. You're all welcome. So let's get right into the video. What is new with the build? Well, we have several different things. Crit is the main big thing, basically. You will still go for a physical bow. You might also notice something very strange in a gasarrow build. We do not have the Radiant Lace Hood. We don't need it. At least 99% of the time. How did I make this happen? We'll get right into it shortly. So, first of all, I would like to say that this build will include two different gear sets, so to say. One for bossing and one for mapping. Then you can also swap one or two pieces for the Simulacrum that I'm gonna showcase soon as well. We could do the showcases first, and then I will go through the gear and stuff. This was the breach that you saw. This is the Simulacrum. Also, please try to watch the whole video. I will say a lot of stuff, and I don't want people to miss out because I've been working a lot on this build. Over 600 hours of working on a build, and I tried to make it at least 99% or 95% plus fully me. Obviously, you have to take a few minor things from left and right to make things fully work, but as you see here, this is me just inventing most of the things. There are similar builds maybe out there. I didn't check too much about it. But I don't think anyone is going this exact version or close to the damage I'm doing with this build. If so, please leave a comment down below saying this and showing this, because I want to actually compare this and see how well I've managed to build my character. I'm from my background is basic World of Warcraft. I played Diablo, I played Last Epoch. I haven't played POE 1 though, so this is a new experience for me. For those that know me, know that I've been sitting day in, day out, trying to finesse the build and just spamming the game non-stop because I love this shit. It's so fucking good. What you see here in front of you is a Simulacrum. It is not a high Simulacrum, it's a tier 1, but nonetheless, Simulacrums are fucking hard. Definitely need a good build to do the Simulacrum. As you can see here, this was also a wave 15 out of 15, which we completed. The build is fairly strong, and I wasn't even close to dying here, honestly, which is really nice. So, shout out to oh my, thank you. If you ever see this video, that was fun. Okay, let's see oh, wait, was that it? Where's the Okay, let me see. Here we have a Arbiter of Ash. This is a tier 2. Basically, I have not yet like done him like that much because he did cost a lot. Now he's much more cheaper. So I took the liberty of trying him out a bit more. It's a tier 2, so he doesn't have like a 1 trillion HP exactly, but there you go. He's gone. I also think Regalia drops here. Boom. Insane. Okay. Woo! Let's see if we can find the breach one. I should have already a tab open for this, but failed, I guess. Can also optimize. In the future also I'll try to really learn how to edit and try to like make a little bit better videos, guys. I'm sorry. This is the best I can do now. Bear with me. As you can see here, I'm putting on a duel for bosses. Basically, this duel is called Concentrated Effect. It's extremely important for pinnacles that you put it on. You don't need to put it on for map bosses, even the highest map bosses possible. I also put in a freezing charm here instead of the stun charm. A little tip and trick. Put down the totem to generate rage, basically. This will give eventually more attack damage, which is multiplicative. Stack the gas arrows, crit, bursting for 15 million, do the rotation with curse, exposure, hit him 2-3 times, gone. Also here, you did not notice something which I also noticed very late. This damage that you see here, I can actually one-shot this boss with my build. You see here, this is Elemental Conflux, for those that don't know, or for those that do. And it's actually buffing me 72% more cold damage right now, which is my lowest stat. Like, my lowest, like, added damage. If this had given me fire, which is 3 times pretty much, or even more maybe, than my cold, then this boss would have actually gotten hit for around, I don't even want to say it, but like 30-40 million probably. Because here he gets hit for, what, 14 million? And, well, I can show you the numbers after, I guess. I have succeeded in, at least a bit, making the build fairly strong. And I have a bunch of more things to actually improve. As you can see on my bow here, it's missing a really important stat for crit build. Instead of +1 level to all projectile skills, it should have 2 critical bonus. 2 critical damage bonus. And that is a multiplicative stats basically. And that stat will do that. Oh, sorry. All the crit bonus that you have on the tree and all the increases and stuff will increase off of this stat, basically. So, could get another 100% more or 150% more, like, probably around 100% more crit bonus. So this is a demonstration of the gear setup I have for mapping. Basically, just a quick show what gear I'm using. It's almost identical to the map bosses. These are the gems. Not too much difference. You could also optimize a little bit more. Hand of Shiula is the big thing here. I'm gonna show another stuff, another one, another little trick basically. What I'm doing in maps now. I just recently did it, but I didn't really care before. But now I like, you know, really, I'm trying to finalize the build basically, because I'm going to work on my next project, which will include Ice Shot. It's gonna be fun to see also how well it performs and how fun it is. So that's a little bit like that. I think I'm gonna show my stats soon. This is the tree. This is my mapping tree, basically. A few notes here and there that I placed a little bit different from the bossing. As you can see, the more energy shield, for example, I don't need that for bossing. I take that away. It's heavily needed for beaches. If you want to minimize like the amount of times you die, basically. And also here we have volcanic skin. I have this anoint on my neck, basically insanely strong. Fulmination, that's a mega gem. Also singular purpose, but that's also like this gem that I'm about to show. So here I'm gonna pause for a second. Singular purpose, fulmination. This is a mega gem diamond. I will also show you at the end of the video how to search for this and what to look for a little bit. But basically what you saw here was increase to ignite chance. Also just pure damage, raw damage. We love damage, right? Here are my stats while breaching as well. Resistance capped, index, strength, evasion, the energy shield, the life. This gets doubled also while we're playing in maps. Didn't wanna... Okay. So, a little bit quick down. Updates. What is going on here? What is happening? How are we doing all this without the head? How do we transition into crit? Okay. Crit, hit chance on the bow, super important. Try to have it at least like above 3%. The closer you can come to 5%, the better. Try to also squeeze in crit bonus as the third suffix, sorry, second or third. Also, you might see one thing here that no dirty little lightning arrow build says, but this one says it. Add fire damage. Why? Because the more fire damage we have, the more chance to ignite. We want as much of a base fire damage, basically, as we can. So basically here, this arrow right here, done a lot of testing about this, but this arrow right here, you see here, main hand chance estimated ignite damage per second. This one here, and this here, main hand fire damage, basically. Remember what I said about the conflux, if you proc fire, like look how much more fire damage I have than cold, even though I have added cold. So basically now that it goes to like cold, it goes 3.5 to 8.7. Imagine if you took this number while I was damaging the boss instead. That is crazy, man. I was a bit unlucky, I guess. Also, a side note. I'll talk more about it as well. But bowshot actually has a higher chance to ignite even without the support jumps. There's a side note. Sometimes I'm using bowshot for the pure purpose of like sometimes the gasarrow doesn't reach like higher levels of the map, so bowshot will actually hit like if mobs are on a staircase or something, for example, or if really fast mobs run at you, then sometimes they will like gasarrow actually have a little bit hard time hitting them, but 95% of the time or 96% of the time you can just shoot gasarrow and it will be completely fine, even 100% of the time. But if you want to really min-max it, you can also shoot like a bow shot sometimes. But it's like super speedy mobs coming at you or something, they also die from a bow shot. But you can gasarrow. The thing is, they need to be hit by the arrow itself, this arrow, in order to detonate the explosion from the gas cloud, basically. So added fire damage, added fire damage, added fire damage, added fire damage. Ingenuity to boost up the ring added fire damage. I'll show you a bunch of other stuff soon. This is the boss setup, basically, that you saw there was the map setup. Basically what I do is I add a skill slot, an unset ring, basically, that has good stats, and I use it for the pinnacle bosses solely. For the map, I just do this, and voila, done. Nothing else to think about. For you, it might be a little bit different, but for me, this is the case. Also, we added this helmet, insane. This helmet is so good. I'm so happy I could fit it into the build finally. I'm working my ass off to actually accomplish this. So how do we do it? Like I said, added fire damage, a bunch of added fire damage, crit bonus. I'll show you the passive tree soon. We also need the added lightning. We also need the added cold because we want to freeze, we want to shield, we want to shock, right? All this is also inside the build. Hence why we still call it elemental damage, elemental ranger. You could look for, if you're playing Deadeye, basically, you could skip this second additional arrow if you can't afford it. That's why I said the build doesn't have to be expensive, right? For me, it's just expensive. But you can 100% make it work for less, way less. But if you're playing Pathfinder, try to get in at least a double arrow there. It makes things way nicer. And also a lot more damage. So, chance to ignite. Talked a bit about it. Just a bunch of chance to ignite. We add a lot of extra fire damage here, 8%. We have the gem, 8%. Around 16%. I'll try to get another one, also more. We can even upgrade this even more with getting the resonance one. From nothingness or whatever, you put it on any jewel and you can get these points as well, and voila, you have 12% more cold and fire. Fulmination, I'll show you how to search for this later. Chance to ignite, more damage. Also, I realized something which might have been obvious, but increased damage also will increase the chance to ignite, because you increase the arrow itself inside the gas. Like the gasarrow arrow, you increase that little boy right there to do more damage, do more fire damage, and to ignite better. And then you increase the chance to ignite, basically, with the chance to ignite increases. Like here you have a node. You can take ailment here, inflict a chance to inflict ailments. I experimented a little bit going here as well for the chance to ignite and elemental damage. Both of them have a synergy in increasing the chance to ignite, basically. But I'm playing this right now, for example, instead of this, because actually, if I dealt a critical, that's my idea a little bit. I deal a crit and I do more damage, I have a higher chance to ignite, right? Like, that's just how I'm thinking, and it feels good. It works, like it does work. Like pretty much every pack is ignited. What to think about is that it's going to probably ignite like 95% of the times every single first hit, but sometimes you might have to shoot like 1 to 3 times, right? That is a little bit of a negative, but it's still insane and it doesn't really affect anything. It's just a little bit if you're comparing it to the laser that's just perma-igniting everything around you. So let's see, the gems are pretty much the same. Now we have added one more thing into the build, and that's for mapping. It's not for pinnacles, it's for mapping, and that is blink, as you can see here, with a jiggling crest shield. What basically this does is you put it on the second weapon slot, and you basically have a temporalis on the second weapon slot. So like you clear the whole breach, and then you put on, like you click like punch for an example, and then you can just blink around and loot. Pretty nice, right? So basically this is for mapping. So like Hand of Sheola, for example, as I'm using on bosses, we don't need it in the maps at all. We have enough damage. So you just put it in the stash for now with all the basically all the curses and stuff like that, and the mark as well. I will take mark as well there inside the hand of Sheola to increase like the magnitude of the shock and stuff like that. For the blink, I have ingenuity and mobility. Could also put in one more. We also quality it up to increase the cooldown recovery rates. Also higher skill of blink also gives more blink distance, which is pretty nice. You can also get one of these like over 50% cooldown recovery rates on the Jingling Crest. But it needs to be corrupted. If you want a 60%, which is the max, then you will need to pay like around 18 div. I paid like I think I was paying 70 exalt for this one because it had 54 instead of something like if you want to pay more like 52, 56% or 58%, then just if you have the currency, sure, go ahead, you know, but this is enough for me at least. Like basically kind of blink. Like almost all the time. So basically what you do is that you put it on weapon set 2, you click off the weapon set 1, you will have enough spirits. If I go to the ask, you see I shoot with the gasarrow, I click T, I can start blinking, and gasarrow, I swap back to my other weapon basically. So that's how it works. Okay, those are the things there. Herald of Ice, like always. Eye of Winter, you saw this. We just broken, like for the boss, we just stack the gas arrows, put down the totem for pinnacles, and then we do an Eye of Winter, and then boom, explode the whole world. Wind Dancer, Elemental Conflux, for those that didn't watch the other videos, but Elemental Conflux is super fucking strong, especially for our build, because we're utilizing all the damages. These are just skill gems, like level plus 3, will increase, it basically gives more elemental damage, which is multiplicative. So why is this strong? Because here you can see on the explosion that we have, I will also bump this up even further, but here you can see that we have a pretty balanced damage distribution of the fire, cold, and lightning, although the fire is going to be higher because we really need to ignite, basically. Now that you see that it goes to cold, the fire went down with 10k, and the cold went up with 4k, right? And then it can go to lightning, and it gives the lightning instead. So it's really important to somewhat balance these three out so that you get a really good value from the elemental conflux. The totem says itself that's for pinnacles only. It also stays here even if you put away the ring, if you swap the ring, and when you get the ring again, you can just put down the totem. Pretty convenient. So for the stat prio, you really need to have crit chance on the bow. Crit bonus is a big plus. Crit chance, critical hit chance, and fire damage are super important, apart from the fizz, like the flat fizz and the increased fizz. Added additional arrow, helps with clear, helps with damage, super good. Obviously, I could improve this bow. I could just slam this mirror on someone and give him my mirror bow, right? And I could actually literally one-shot the bosses. But for the sake of this video, I didn't want to do it. And also, it's really pretty just sitting there. Might also make like a currency making guide sometimes, or a video in the near future. Those who watch my stream, I talk about things all the time, how to make currency. I help out a lot of people on my stream, like what to think about, how to think around crafting, and what to do and stuff like that, what to specialize in, the tips and tricks and stuff like that. This head is giving us, also just so you see, it's giving us a really substantial amount of energy shield, really important. Also, you need the spirit on it. You do really need a spirit for this build to work out. Spirit here. This anoint on the neck, as you can see here, we talked about it before, is the volcanic skin. If you now pick like a mega gem instead, then basically, let's talk about the passive tree a little bit. So we get here energy shield For some reason, the Against the Darkness is not taking this little man here and not giving us this node, which is super annoying. I went like this and got this one. Worth it for sure. We also do, if you have an Against the Darkness that give these stats, basically, then you are going to shield enemies for 30%, which will also increase your damage done by 30%, which is insane. Because it says here, hindered is a debuff that slows, blah, 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 30%, right? That goes with shield. If your shield is strong enough and it slows with 30%, then you get this value as well, so this is pretty good as well. These are also empowering it. I went here instead of here. There's more value, 10% elemental damage, better than 5% attributes if you're not a dirty stat stacker. Basically, these are like super important. These are the crit changes, basically. More attack speed here, super much attack speed here. Crit bonus here, 2 critical chance, super important. We went away from this and this, super waste of points, all of this, super waste of points. I literally get the value of this dexterity from one fucking ring, bro. One stat on a ring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Also the travel node. Super bad going this. Like, it has been such work, like trying to figure out the min-maxy way how to pat in the fucking tree. But I think I have somewhat, like, superbed it, you know what I mean? These are obviously like some points that you can play with. This is some points you can play with, I guess. I'm thinking about the resonance. What's it called? From Nothingness Gem, but it's extremely expensive, as you can see here. It's about 140 div, which is a lot. I mean, I can afford it, but it's super much. Like, if it drops to maybe 70, 80, or 90 or something, then I will consider it, I guess. Also, this one is super important. The Mega Gem. I'll talk more how to search for it soon. Basically what it does, it gives us fulmination and singular purpose without us even like patting there. So like you put in this gem, you just put it in, and then you voila, you get this one and this one. For you it will be different, obviously, because like you will have to I can't even find, I think I removed it or something, but you just like, I will actually show you soon. I will show you soon. So yeah, this gem is super important. Super important with Against the Darkness. At least if you can't afford the extra cold, you need to get the extra fire. Super duper important if you want to ignite without the head, basically. And these are the second web slot points, basically for curses. You could also optimize this a little bit. Make sure that you also spend the extra web points. These are the ascendancy points, basically. Nothing too special. It's just explosive concussion for the fire exposure. Yeah. For the Atlas tree, we can see here, I did some changes. Also, we killed the Arbiter now again, right? So we can just, I don't know, whatever, pick something here. For now, it can stay like that. These are the breach points. I'm gonna play more these, basically. And more ritual, but these are these. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's the build, guys. Try to get Fire Penna on the gloves as well. Pretty important as well. That's actually a really huge thing. So get Fire Penna on the gloves. It's really helpful, especially mapping. And these are the stats for mapping as well. And yeah. So for the cons of the build, basically it has been really hard to try to fix the build crit-wise, and also to accumulate like this crit, like this chance to ignite, basically. The ignition from the arrow itself, not from the cloud, but from the arrow that I'm shooting, like this projectile arrow, has been really hard actually to solve, but I've pretty much solved it. Also, Herald of Ash is going to help a bit. I'm also putting this for mapping. This is going to help a bit, because Herald of Ash will ignite if you overkill stuff around you, but the utmost important thing is to ignite with the arrow itself, like this arrow here. And to do so, you need a lot of added fire damage, a lot of ignite chance, and basically need like these things. These are important. So like sometimes, like I said, like 1 or 2 shots, 3 shots max to ignite something. As you can see on the bosses and stuff like that, it always will ignite, like it just ignites. And sometimes if the map has like super high like elemental resistances, I usually don't play them. For example, if it has like omega high like elemental res, let's see, I surely have one of them here somewhere. Like here, elemental resistances and increased element threshold. Like you don't really play these keys, okay? Like, also, I forgot to mention actually, in the Simulacrum, I am choosing to play with Flame Wall. Once again, like we did when we were like leveling and early in the build and stuff like that. Because in Simulacrum, you don't really have a choice. Sometimes the mobs will get increased element threshold and will get increased elemental resistances. So I just slapped on a flame wall basically instead of Hand of Sheula, which is fine. It's completely fine. As you could see, we smacked the whole 15 waves like no tomorrow, right? Even if they also had like increased elemental resistances, increased element threshold. So, I mean, I guess if you would want to play every key that exists, then just slap on a flame wall and play with flame wall. But I did also see that during the Simulacrum, basically, I was able to still, even if I was not flame walling, as you could see here. Like here, for example, they're not flame walled, right? You see? Like those are not flame walled. For example, here, look. Like you see, they will explode eventually. Like in between sometimes. Like there, you saw? They actually explode. So, even with elemental resistances, ailment threshold, that had both, by the way, like, it does work still, but it's like sometimes you have to shoot maybe 2-3 times and maybe even 4 times sometimes. Like it's very rare, but sometimes, and it's like, you know, why go through the trouble? Just put down a flame wall. Or for mapping and big breaches, juicy breach maps, just don't play those keys. Like here's an ideal key. Like you play like this, you play like this one, for example. It doesn't have any elemental resistances or ailment threshold. Like this one, I'm pretty sure is fine. You see, these are fine. Just play these keys. You don't have to play the other shit keys. So we're at the bonus section, which was a little bit included this, I guess. When you go to a map, talking of maps, I guess, it's important that you look here of the biomes. You see here, biome swamp. Biome swamp. It also, this backwash can actually become a forest instead. It depends where on the map it is. Like you see here, it looks a little bit swampy, right? So it will get swamp. Like almost all of these, if I'm not mistaken, are gonna be swamps. Except like far there, but that's like far further, right? Somehow. So it's like almost all of these have swamp. You see, even Augury is a swamp. You're like, what? Augury? A swamp? Augury was a fucking forest before as well. I was like, what? So, why am I saying this? Basically, if you want the divines to fucking reign, you fucking put this one. Local knowledge. You're the local king. Put local knowledge, boom. When you're playing swamp maps, you take it away. When you don't play swamp maps, and you put like quantity or something. We're like, go fucking something like this, whatever, or something. You get the point. Also, the Against the Darkness, super important. Mega Gem, what the fuck is it called? Megalomaniac Gem. Okay, that gem. These are super important for the build. The third one would be from Nothingness, as I said as well, for the ultimate extra, like, mirror level equivalent, like juice, right? Like uber endgame. You will have to go to the website. You search Against the Darkness, Lost Diamond, and you see here a bunch of fuckery. You go also gain, what the fuck is it? Grand gain. Also grand gain. And you see here, these are the alternatives. You just have to type also grand gain. You get them. Type fire. You do 2, 3, or 4. Let's say 4. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive. As you see here, this is what you can start with. That's why I said, like, mine cost, I got mine for 38 divine. But look here, I played with this one before, it cost 3 divine. It was working kinda like almost the same. It was also really good. I've been playing this build for a week now. It has been working out. I'm just now at like a close to a final stage, which I've like ultra juiced up basically. And you would just type also grant gain cold. Let's say 4. You want to uber juice it. It got up in price a bit. Hey, what can I say? I got it for 36. It's now 50. But you could do this. And 36. You could even do this. It's fine. Like, the build is gonna super work with it as well. And it's 29 divine. Could maybe do this, but I wouldn't do it. The fire is super important. Also, the mega diamond. We go here. We do this. We go, let's say you want Icebreaker, which I'm not playing with right now. You might have noticed that. But you could play with Icebreaker if you want to play more safe. Basically what Icebreaker does is, I played with this before. It's a really strong node, by the way. I'm just playing a little bit ballsy right now and risky, but you should probably play with this if you can. Gain all that maximum energy shield as additional freeze threshold, basically, which is omega good for mapping. As you can see on the breach boss, for example, I put on a freezing charm instead because stun is not needed. But you can type like this, Icebreaker, kind of expensive, but it's really good. Sharpened Claw, if I'm not mistaken, is 25% attack speed, attack damage as well, which is located here on the claw. It's like this one. Pretty good one if you want. Let's say you want Incendiary. This one is also a good alternative to Fulmination. If you can't find a good Fulmination one, you can search for an Incendiary one. Basically, Incendiary is a B version of Fulmination. So Fulmination is here, 40%, 40%. Incendiary is here somewhere. Here, I think. Yeah, so this is instead 30-30. So it works as well, it's really good as well. Fulmination though, you just type like Fulmination. And voila, you have it. Not super expensive, right? One day start off the build. Why I chose also to do Volcanic Skin on the Anoint is because it's so much more cheaper to do it on the Anoint. This basically is a Suffering, Isolation, Paranoia, which is like just a couple of Divine, like 2 to 4 Divine or something. But if you would go here and type Volcanic Skin, it would be like 14 Divine minimum. So like, what the fuck, that's so stupid, right? Also, you do have my loot filter in my Discord. All you have to do is join my Discord and go get my loot filter, basically. So that's it for today, and I hope you guys really enjoyed. Like I said before, I'm streaming every day on Twitch. You can check out my TikTok and everything as well. Leave a like, sub, and comment if you like the video. You help me out a ton. Take care and see you guys later. Bye.